Hey guys, welcome back to my Flash episode review. Sorry it's been a while since I posted any videos lately. Well, last week I didn't do an episode review because there was no episode 2 review. That and it's been really busy with my work and school the past week, so it's been hard to get around to doing my episode reviews. Even though there's only one that I really missed last week with Arrow. But I'm back and I'm here to talk about last night's episode of The Flash titled Plastique. And overall, I really enjoyed the episode. And a big positive for me was Clancy Brown playing General Liling, I think is his name. And of course, like big DC fans would know him as the voice of Lex Luthor in the Superman animated series and in Justice League. I mean, some of my favorite cartoons when I was a kid. And I liked his character. I wish there's a little more of him. And I was really shocked with the ending of the episode with But I don't care about. Okay, if you guys are watching this, I'm gonna be talking about spoilers. So, I mean, if you want to be spoiled, that's your own thing. Whatever. If not, oh well, you can turn this off. But with last night's ending of Plastique, her being shot by Clancy Brown's character, and her dying, and her blowing up, I was shocked because I liked the actress. And I liked her definitely. In the one episode she was in, I liked her a lot better than Smallville's version of Plastique, who I didn't like at all, because she was very like, oh, I'm innocent. And now I'm still something like badass, and like, I don't know. I just didn't like Smallville's version of the character at all. And I really liked the actress. I can't remember, I don't know her name off the top of my head. Sorry about that. But I really liked her. I liked her as an actress. I liked her in the as the character. Sorry, my stuttering is a little bad right now. But I really liked her character. One thing I didn't really like about, not necessarily her character, but that it has to do with her character, was Cisco's like infatuation with her. And I'm becoming less and less impressed with the Cisco character. And it's kind of the actor's job. I mean, it's just I'm kind of over Cisco at this point. And I wish they'd chosen an actor who could actually act. Sorry. I just don't think Carlos Valdez is the right fit for the character who's meant to be Vibe. And I like Caitlin Snow. I like pretty much everyone else in the show, minus a couple characters here and there, other minor characters. But overall, I like most of the cast. It's just he's the one character who's part of the main cast who I honestly don't like almost at all. And in last week's episode, he just looks like a little kid to me, to be honest. He's acting like a 13-year-old and like having to name these villains all the time, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, like he's the one who names Captain Cold and all that stuff in the Mist and all that stuff. And I get kind of why he's naming them, because like us like comic book fans, like when like if they don't have the names and they're playing the character, then it's kind of like a cop out. It's like, why have the character if we're not gonna give him the name? But at the same time, like I don't like how Cisco's always like every week it's like Metahuman. Oh, gotta come up with a name for him. Like no, I don't like that. I just don't like the Cisco character. So unless they do something to change my mind about the character, I mean, for what Stephen Amell said in the interview he did about the Flash and Arrow crossover, he said he liked working with Carlos Valdez. I'll see how that is with the Arrow crossover coming up in about a few weeks or a month or so. But if he doesn't improve by the end of this year, by the end of 2014, then I'm just gonna not care about his character at all and kind of watch the show, or like care more about the show around him. But overall, great performances from the cast. It was nice seeing a little more of Harrison Wells' history, and especially like that the Easter, I don't know if it's an Easter egg or a cameo by Gorilla Grodd before he got his intelligence. And obviously, they hinted at it in the pilot that he escaped, so it'll be cool seeing that and how they handle the CGI, or if it's or whatever they do for Gorilla Grodd, if they do bring Gorilla Grodd in this. But again, solid performances by everyone. And Barry, I'm really like, I mean, he's the Flash, he's the title character, so of course I think he's doing a great job. Grant Gustin, the more and more I see of him, the more I think he's fit for this role. Like I think he fits really well. Because at first, like I've talked in the past, like initially I had my doubts about him as an actor and like the look of the character, but I've gone beyond that, and I think he fits the character perfectly. I can kind of relate to him because I grew up kind of the same way. Like full disclosure, like I've lost my mom. My mom passed away a few years back, so I understand that pain. And growing up, being picked on and like not really being able to fit in because you're being too nerdy or whatever. and then like falling for the people you really shouldn't fall for. And I really relate to Barry Allen as a character overall because I understand a lot of where his pain comes from as a human being, not just as a superhero, obviously, because I'm not a superhero. But I mean, I connect with Barry on a real personal level, and for me, that's why the Flash has become one of my favorite characters even before the show started, because my big thing, if I can relate to a character, that makes me makes me love that character even more. So especially with Barry Allen losing his mom at such a young age, and I lost my mom fairly young. I was just about to turn 16 when my mom passed away, and sorry, I think I'm getting a little emotional here because I don't really talk about this, publicly, especially on on a video. But me losing my mom affected me in a lot of bad ways, and it's kind of nice to see. It's like, of course, like a lot of DC characters lose their parents, and with Batman, even though he lost his parents, I can never really relate with Batman as much as I love Batman. But I mean, I relate more to Superman as a character and Flash as a character because, again, I grew up kind of a social outcast, and that's where I turned to comics and in the superhero world to kind of escape from the problems I was dealing with. And I feel and then I got more into comics, especially after my mom passed away, because it's that's the one place where I can kind of go to be at peace and not really deal with those issues. And what I love about the Flash is that he's such a human character. I love Arrow. You guys know how much I love Arrow. I mean, I do an episode review of all that, and you guys who follow me on Tumblr see all the stuff I post about Arrow, so you know how much I love him. But I can't really relate to Green Arrow or Oliver Queen as a character because I mean, he's a very, especially in Arrow, he's a very cold, not only cold hard, but he's very stern and strong-willed person. And I try to be strong, but I make mistakes like any other human being, and I just relate more with Barry Allen as a character. That's why I think I like Barry Allen as a character a little bit more than Oliver Queen. But that's not to diminish Oliver Queen as a character at all. It's just I relate more with the Flash as a character and Grant Gustin's portrayal of him. It's just he does such a great job with portraying this character as a flawed human being who's going through these changes with his abilities and these people who are in his life, especially his feelings with Iris and dealing with those. And the one thing I really loved about this episode was the fact that Joe, he's known for years, his feelings for Iris, and he's like, dude, why don't you ever just tell her? And I'm really starting to like Joe and Barry's relationship in the show. That's another big positive for me. I love their relationship in this episode in particular, especially the way Joe reacts to how Barry does, he vibrates his vocal cords when Barry met with Iris as the Flash, and he vibrated his voice to disguise himself. And I love how he hides his identity, because with every other superhero, it's they do some deep voice changer. That's one thing that kind of bothered me about Arrow when they first started doing the whole voice changing thing. I'm like, well, that's exactly what Green Arrow did in Smallville. And that's exactly what Superman did in Smallville when he was the Red Blue Blur. Horrible effing name. But I would like with how the Flash did it. I mean, you can still hear Grant Gustin's voice or Barry Allen's voice in it, but I like it. It's a kind of a cool way to keep his identity safe, especially the way he vibrates his face. I think that's pretty cool. Great performances overall. I really liked last night's episode. I wish they didn't kill off Plastique. That kind of sucks for me because I was beginning to like the character. Again, Cisco aside, I think that this is a really solid episode. Am I missing anything? Trying to think. I'm trying not to delay this too much, so because I don't want to have you guys waste your time watching me go on my rant about my mom and all this stuff. Sorry, but I'm just trying to Okay, I'm really going off on a tear right here. Again, I really, really liked last night's episode. Rating right now, I would give it 8 out of 10. It has its issues. Some parts are a little cheesy, and I'm kind of not liking. I'm curious about where they're going with the whole Iris and her obsession with the streak thing. I mean, I kind of wish they weren't doing that, to be honest. But I mean, hey, I'm giving it a chance. I'm not dissing the character or anything. It's just, I'll be cautiously optimistic about like what they're doing and the direction they're going in. So yeah, that'll be it for me, guys. Plastique episode rating 8 out of 10. You guys will be hearing back from me tonight, where I do my double episode review of last week and tonight's episode of Arrow. All right, guys, that'll be it from me, and have a good one.